What's up, boys? It is your boy Mr. KG, okay, your favorite personal little YouTuber here. Alrighty, we are here with another video. Alright, we're here before we go to work, as always, in the Whipperooski. Alrighty, I noticed we gained another new subscriber. They even left a comment. How nice. I even replied and everything. Thank you, sir, or ma'am, or whatever you identify as. Honestly, I appreciate it so much, okay? I don't mean to be prejudiced or anything like that, but yeah. Also, I'm gonna get a you know what I mean shirt. That's definitely the move. Somebody left a comment on that. I tend to talk very fast, right? But, you know, before we get into today's talking topic, all right, I want to, you know, thank you guys so much for all the support. I want you guys to take a moment to like. Sorry. I want you guys to take a moment to like, subscribe, you know, leave a comment. Tell me how you guys are doing today. Tell me if you liked the video, hated the video, anything, you know what I mean? Tell me if you went to the bathroom today, what you eaten today. Alrighty, if you're watching from the YouTube shorts, come on into the actual video, okay? If you're gonna enjoy the short right now, you're enjoying the video. Alright, now we're gonna go on and talk about one thing that I was thinking about. You know how I've been talking about, you know, time travel, right? I've been looking into it a little bit because I didn't want to just talk about the most random thing without having a kind of idea of what to talk about, you know what I mean? Now there's like a couple different theories, you know, there's like the set timeline or like the multiversal or like other ones, you know, but today we're gonna be talking about the multiversal time theory, right? And this time theory basically is that if you say like you went to go kill your parent, your mom's dad, right? That wouldn't stop you from existing. That would just put you in a whole different reality, or like, I guess, universe, to where like they just didn't exist at all, you know what I mean? And you would still be there because you're from the original reality where everything had transpired, so technically you just create a different branch, you know what I mean? And one of the best examples I could think about to give would be like watching this video right now, you know what I mean? It's more of like, there's timelines where I chose to do this video right now, and I uploaded it, and then you guys are watching it right now at the moment of me recording, okay? And you click on, okay, and now you're doing this, and you took time out of your day to watch me. And now there's another whole different universe that I just created when making this video, where I didn't make this video. You guys are outside doing something else, or you're just vibing, right? And that's just one of those crazy things to think about, okay? And another like kind of thing to think about, you could have never started something that made your life amazing, you know what I mean? I could have never started my YouTube channel. Obviously it doesn't make my life super amazing, but it makes my life fun. It gives me something to do, something to talk about. It's like a little mission every day, you know what I mean? Find something to talk about it, make it, you know, consumable to the viewers eye, you know? And in this sense, that means that it's almost like when you're walking on like when you're paving a road, you know what I mean? You can go on to the right, go on the left, go on the middle. It just creates a bunch of different timelines depending on your decision, right? Like if you were to go back in time and try to stop a building from being burned down, you'd stop it in one timeline, but there's still the original place from where you're from where that building did burn down, okay? Now, I just think that's one of those insane things about time travel. You know, it's one of the more complicated ones, I kind of feel like. And the one of the ones you think about when you're little, where you're just like, oh, I wonder if I did this, oh, then it would create this, and if I did this and that, oh, there's another timeline where I'm not doing this, you know what I mean? And, like, right now, like, if you're taking a shit right now, there's a timeline where you didn't take that shit and you're doing something else, you know what I mean? Or, like, you shit your pants, or something funny like that, right? Now, this is, I kind of talked about this a little too fast, okay? I kind of went over everything I want to go over for this, so we can also go over the, like, set timeline, you know what I mean? It's more different, or it's a lot different from the multiversal timeline, because like time theory, because it's more everything that's set in stone, you know what I mean? But for right now, like usual, I'm kind of running out of time to talk about it, so yeah, we're gonna hit you guys back on one of my breaks and finish it. What's up, boys? It's your boy Mr. KG back from my 15. Okay, it's not as bright as it looks out there. I turned up my exposure, alright? But we are just chilling, alright? And back on what I was talking about, the fixed timeline theory. And what it kind of reminds me of is like in, I guess if you played God of War, or just like, you know, any mythology, or just anything like a prophecy, right? When people try to prevent a prophecy, it ends up coming true one way or another. And that's kind of how I could explain this, right? Now, say you went back in time and you wanted to go, like I said before, kill your grandfather, right? Then no matter what you would do, you'd be prevented from killing your grandfather. In a way, every choice you ever made was already set in stone for you, almost written into the fabric of the universe. So say you went back to try to bomb or try to stop the bomb from Nagasaki or something like that, you know what I mean? And then you went and tried to do it, and all of a sudden, somehow, some way, your like efforts to try to stop this correlates to actually starting the bomb or giving them the idea to it or something, and in that way, your actions were always a part of history. You know what I mean? Like, every single thing that you ever done was a part of history. That's like kind of crazy to me. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's a little more it's interesting, but it's also like more like a set in stone. You know what I mean? Think about it as like like I said again, the road, right? And think about when you're not paving the road, it's a finished road. You can't lay down more. You're just a regular guy walking down a road. You can't lay it down. You can go forward. You can go backwards. You can't lay down new pavement. You can't rip up the road. I mean, that's just how it works, right? You gotta get in there, and anything that you do, no matter what it is, say you tried to warn everybody about 9/11, right? Somehow, some way, that intelligence would have caused 9/11, or no matter what, it's still gonna happen, and people aren't gonna believe you and think you're crazy. Like, what? Why are they gonna hit the you know what I mean? Like, it was a funny, but not funny, bad reference. Good, okay? Sorry, I accidentally turned off my camera. That's my bad. I hope I kind of started off. I just, you know what I mean? But, yeah, that's just one of those interesting things there. You know what I mean? And then there's also kind of the loop theory, I guess, you know? And I haven't looked too much into this one yet, but from what I understand so far, it's more of like everything loops consistently without a definitive beginning or an end, right? So say some scientist was given blueprint machine from a mysterious stranger. He makes the machine, and then he decides to go back in time to himself and give him that machine, right? And by that, like, definition, the blueprints were just always, you know what I mean? They never were created at some point. They just always were, you know what I mean? They never had a definitive start and a definitive end, and it's just on a consistent time loop. Obviously, after the guy gave him the blueprints, he went on with his life, but those blueprints are consistently getting passed through time over and over and over and over and over again. You know what I mean? It's kind of like when you do like a math problem and you like do it a little bit wrong or something in class, and it's like 1.6555315671551555. You know what I mean? It's like repeating like that. That's kind of the best way I can explain that from my understanding. You know what I mean? And it's another crazy thing, you know, because a lot of us always wish that we can sit here and pause time or rewind time, go back in time and do something differently or see what's to come. You know what I mean? And it just makes life a lot less stressful, maybe, you know, or even more stressful because, like I had said, about like the straight definitive timeline, right? Say you found out you died in 100 days. There's nothing you can do to prevent that. But in a multiversal timeline, you're able to prevent that in a certain way. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, there's still a timeline where you die, but it's kind of like that one Sonic thing on TikTok where it's all of his dead bodies and he's still alive. Kind of like that. You know what I mean? There's going to be a dead you in a universe, but then the you is going to survive. You know what I mean? That you're not going to experience all that. Another version of you with a completely different conscious and a completely different universe is going to experience that. And I just think it's pretty cool. You know what I mean? I just wanted to look a little bit more into time travel. I've done one before, a little video on it, but I honestly probably didn't look into it too much or find, you know, very good knowledge about it or have the skills to articulate it to the way I wanted to, okay? But, yeah, without further ado, we're gonna probably end the video here. Make sure you guys like, subscribe. We're at 210 subscribers now. I noticed that we're going up, okay? I appreciate you guys so much for what you guys do and support me. Like, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about the video, okay? Let me know if you want me to keep coming out with more videos, obviously. Give me some ideas for videos you want to see, some topics you might want to see my opinion about, okay? But, yeah, we'll see you guys later.